Hey everybody, today's video is on which of my cars down here in South Florida is the fastest from 0 to 60 on the street at the same spot, same conditions. It's actually pretty nice out here in Florida. It's about 70 degrees. It's finally starting to cool off. So we're gonna have some track days coming up and we got some airstrip days coming up December 7th. It's fast or nothing. But which do you think is the quickest from 0 to 60 out of all the cars I have here? Now, to be fair, or to not break anything, I'm not gonna do the Mazda RX-7 or the Ford GT because I really don't feel like burning up the clutches today. But at the end of the video, I will put my best 0 to 60 in each of those cars in there just so you can get an idea of where the manual cars sit with regards to the dual clutches or the electric cars and so forth. So we have the McLaren 765 LT, 765 horsepower, really makes about 800 horsepower, 3,100 pounds, rear wheel drive. This car is on, unfortunately, 2-year-old tires. So they're the Pirelli Corsa tires. I'm not that confident that the 0 to 60 meet great. Even though the car's only got like 1,500 miles, as tires age, they don't do as well. So I don't know what the McLaren's gonna do, but we're gonna see. This car has done 0 to 60 in the low 2s of the track and in the high 2s on the street. Next up, we got the Lamborghini Revuelto. Over here we got all-wheel drive, 1,015 horsepower, all-wheel drive, but very heavy, 4,300 pounds, so way heavier than that. We are gonna get these two out and race soon, so stay tuned for that. Then we got what I think might be the most efficient 0 to 60 car as far as gas is concerned, the Porsche Turbo S. 650 horsepower from the 6-cylinder, twin turbo, 3,500 pounds. And then of course we got the electric cars out here. We got my Tesla Model S Plaid with the track pack. You can see we got the carbon ceramic brakes on here. This thing is a monster 0 to 60. And then of course we got the Model Y Performance, and this is not too shabby either. So as typical, I try and run the gas cars as low on gas as possible to save weight, but with the electric car, we want to run this on full. So before we get started, I want to make sure we got the car charged up. Let me see what we're at here. We are at 194 miles, so we do need a charge. Actually, my old Tesla charger broke and I saved a lot of money. I picked up this Wolfbox EV charger right here. It's got the OEM Tesla adapter on the end right here. So it plugs right in. You don't need any adapters. So we just go over here. Let's plug in. I have this Wolfbox plugged into my 1450 outlet. This is a 50 amp circuit. This will draw 40 amps, 240 volts. You can see it cranking up right here. 244 volts, and the current is ramping up. This will get to about 41 amps. All right, so there we go, 41 amps. Let's see what our charge speed is inside the Tesla and how long we have till we can test this 0 to 60. So we got 2 hours left. We are charging at 28 miles an hour. Typically this will get up to just over 30 miles an hour. Now, as you notice, as soon as I plugged it in, it started charging here on the LED screen. If this charger was outside in a public space, they give you RFID cards, right? So no one can just take your charger and plug in. You hand out these RFID cards, you plug in the car, you scan it down here at the bottom right there, and that will initiate the charging. And then you also need the car to stop the charging as well. The Wolfbox EV charger also has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so you can connect it via an app. When you open up the app, you can see your charger there. You can see our charging power, voltage, our current, our temperature, our how much kilowatt hours we've added, and so forth. There's a lot of data in here. You can actually hit end charging, or you can go to the data here and look at your electricity usage over time. You can also schedule charging use this. If you have cheaper electric rates at night, you can plug your car in and schedule the charging, so the charger will activate and deactivate at certain times to save you money. Also in here are the settings for your vehicle information. You can drop in your cost for kilowatt hour, so it'll give you how much it's charging you to cost from your electricity company. And you can also enable and disable the charge by card feature. So if you don't want to have to use the card, you could just plug in, it'll start charging automatically. If you want to pick up one of these Wolfbox EV chargers, I would put a link down in the description with a special drag times discount. Now, let's go into 0 to 60 testing for all my cars. Okay, so settings for the 765 LT, we're gonna put it in active mode. I'm gonna leave it in comfort for the suspension, track for the transmission. We're gonna turn off manual mode, and then we're gonna drop the arrow. Probably doesn't make a difference 0 to 60, but we're gonna do everything we can. If you're not moving, you can just hold this button down, and that'll drop down the rear wing in the back. There you go. We got the wing down for low drag mode. We got 30 PSI in all the tires. I might do a little light rolling burnout to get the tires a little cleaned off, a little hot, but I don't think it makes a much difference on the street. But 0 to 60, 765 LT Spider, let's go. I'm gonna try and heat up the tires. They're pretty cold, 75 degrees. So to do that, we have traction off. We just jam the throttle. and lights them up pretty good back there. Actually had to let off. Let's try that again. Clutch. Whew. There we go. All right, so we got them cleaned off. Launch control engaged. Boost building ready. Ah, man, it spun first and second gear. Here we go, we'll try again, see if we get any better. Launch enabled. Ah, picked up some speed. Temps are coming up a little bit. We're at 98 degrees on the tire temps. Let's try it again. Launch control engaged. Alright, 3.1. So I think that's all we got out of the McLaren today. I'm gonna go ahead and swap these tires out for, I think, some Michelin Pilot 4S's. I like these. I like those better than the Pirellis. I think they last longer and they don't fade away as quick. So let's jump in the next car. Next up, we'll take out the Lamborghini Revuelto 1015 horsepower with the big V12 exposed in the back here like a Bugatti. This thing's absolutely insane. Let's jump in and get some 0 to 60 done. So here we go in the Lamborghini Revuelto. Let's give it a launch and see what we get 0 to 60. See if we can beat the McLaren 765 LT. Engage launch control and try and catch it on the upswing. Wow, there's a lot of spin actually in second gear. Weather's a little cooler, so whew, on a track this thing's gonna haul ass. That. Woof, man. Here we go, launch control ready. Woof, man. All right, so results for the Revuelto. Well, it's a little loud, so I can press this EV button right there. Shuts off the V12, now in electric mode. So 0 to 60, 2.42. That's the best so far for the Revuelto, and 2.52. With rollout, the 2.42 comes out to 2.28 0 to 60. So this is way ahead of the McLaren 765 LT. Next up, I think we're gonna do the Turbo S. I think the Turbo S is gonna be pretty close to this car. All right, next up we got the Porsche Turbo S, Guards Red, 650 horsepower, twin turbocharged, 6-cylinder all-wheel drive. This car does amazingly well for, well, you might say just 650 horsepower. This thing's an absolute monster. Porsche's got the launch worked out just perfectly in this car. Let me show you. This one's easy to launch. Just stomp on it and go. Nice. A little bit of spin. Oh. There you go, 2.51. That's just 1/10 off the 1015 horsepower Revuelto. Turbo S is spinning a little more than usual today. Maybe the roads are a bit cold, but anyways, it is what it is. Same conditions for everybody. We got 0 to 60. The best was 2.51 with the rollout. That is 2.34. We had another 2.55 and a 2.57. So pretty consistent. Just about a 10th behind the 1,000 horsepower Revuelto. Next up, I think we got to test out, let's test out the Teslas. First up, Tesla Model S Plaid. All right, next up, let's try out the Tesla Plaid. We just finished charging. We're about 93%, so that should be plenty. We are set in Plaid mode with drag strip ready. So you can see right here, we have drag strip peak performance ready. I expect 0 to 60 in the low 2 seconds. Let's see what we get. We'll enter launch mode and see what it does. Now I will note, because my car is lowered, it never goes into full cheetah stance. So you're not gonna see it to say ready, but it will engage. You can see it dropping down, and we can really go at any time right now. So let's do it. Eesh. Little bit of tiny spin. This thing's insane. Eesh. Little bit of tiny spin. This thing's insane. Here we go. .32 to 60, and I can feel it kind of skirting around a little bit. So a little bit of spin right there. Let's see if we can get a little better. Preparing for launch. Here we go. Tiny spin, damn. 2.34 again. Tesla Plaid first run spun a bunch, 2.51, and then a bunch of 2.3. So we got 2.32. With the rollout, that's 2.16. I have done better on the street with the Plaid. I have my old tires from my previous Plaid on this car, so that might have 10,000 miles on them. It's probably time to replace them. I did get 0 to 60 a long time ago in like 2.18 on the street, and that was like a 1.99, the claimed 0 to 60 time for Tesla, which is actually pretty hard to do in the street. At the drag strip, I've been able to repeatedly get, just under 2 seconds from 0 to 60. So now let's load up the Tesla Model Y. All right, next up we got my Tesla Model Y. Performance is a 2023, got about 9,000 miles or so on it. We're charged up to about 83%, which is plenty. This car really isn't affected by that. So let's unplug and get the 0 to 60 time of this one. All right, here we go, 0 to 60 test, Tesla Model Y. This should be relatively uneventful. It's really not that fast. So just come to a stop here. And on this car, there's no settings, just sport mode. There's track mode, but it doesn't make a difference. So you just let go and stab it. Here we go. Here we go. 3.78. Yeah, not that great. Just for fun, we will put it in track mode and see if it helps out the 0 to 60 time. I don't even know why they have track mode in a Tesla Model Y. I don't know who was really tracking this car. But here we go, come to a complete stop. Here we go, and we just jam on it. Here we go. .72, no difference. So Tesla Model Y 3.72 to 60, track mode made a minor difference, but probably just doesn't even make a difference at all. And with the rollout, I don't even know if Tesla uses rollout for the Tesla Model Y, but that's 3.48, and I think Tesla says 3.5 to 60 for the Model Y. It comes off really soft. There's no question if they wanted this car to be quicker, they could do it. Maybe in the new Tesla Model Y performance redo, which is I think coming soon, they'll make it a lot quicker. And I don't know, I mean, the Model 3 goes into the 10, so 10-second Model Y in the future, maybe, who knows. Okay, next up is my bone stock 1993 Mazda RX-7, 255 horsepower with the rotary engine. And last but not least, my favorite 2005 Ford GT. All right, so that's a wrap of street testing 0 to 60 all of my cars. I don't think it's a big surprise that, yeah, well, the Tesla Model S Plaid won. Not far behind was the Lamborghini Revuelto, just 2/10 behind with the Revuelto. And then we got the Porsche Turbo S followed by the McLaren 765 LT, which actually was just picked up to go in for its 2-year service. So yeah, it's been a long time. I got the Ford GT out. I want to take this out for a spin today. As always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up, helps the video on the channel, and we'll see you next video.